at St. Anne's Church in Black Rock. Um, but one of my absolute favorite memories of being a parish priest was baptizing children, infants, because we did it all year long, except for Lent, of course. And we would always celebrate just one baptism um, at every Sunday Mass. And, you know, my first assignment had 5,000 families. So we were never in need of children, nor adults for that matter, to be baptized. And my beloved pastor, Albert Jowdy, had a great tradition of holding the baby in his hand, and he walked throughout the entire assembly with that newborn. And the assembly, you know, cheering and clapping and celebrating um, with the family, with the new godparents. It really, of all my memories, it is really up there on my top five, and I can't wait. I don't want to be a parish priest again, but I can't wait. Oh, I just can't wait till we're all back together, to be honest with you. That's what I really can't wait for. So Jesus came to John the Baptist, and as we know and we heard throughout Advent, the Baptist preached metanoia, conversion of life, a turning around. Those who journeyed to the Jordan were challenged to a life shaped by radical rethinking, by a different kind of thinking. The Baptist's call was to look beyond our lives and even beyond this world so that we may discover how God thinks about things. This calls us to an altogether new way of thinking, a way that our beloved St. Paul wrote about in his letter to the Romans. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good, acceptable, and perfect. Of course, a true conversion of mind doesn't mean simply rethinking or thinking in a new way. It goes further, calling us to look behind things for the deepest source of reality. This kind of thinking never stops questioning. Such a conversion also means not getting stuck thinking about what others have thought or want us to think, but rather trusting in our own thinking when it calls us to step out of the mainstream. And we do this to be in sync also with the deep desires of our heart. Thus, our baptism unites the deep desires of our heart with that new way of thinking, the will of God, so that we may somehow find more trust in that deepest source of reality. We are at the end of our Christmas season, and its many healing images and promises of a new beginning. Jesus' baptism ultimately reminds us that God plants the seed, that God plants God's divine love in our souls, desiring that these seeds will yield fruit in our lives. And that really depends, of course, on God, but mostly on all of us. God can't do it alone. Grace builds on nature. It is us who must cultivate the field that is our soul, so that the new things God has planted might grow and blossom. May we trust that new life that is within us.
Amen.